Hey everyone, it's Alex here. I've spent the last couple of weeks juggling a handful of mini fridges in a dorm, a home office, and a gaming corner, trying to figure out which one actually makes sense for a small space without turning your budget into a gamble. If you're thinking about adding a dedicated beverage cooler to your setup, you probably have a few questions swirling around. Will it fit under my desk? Does it keep drinks cold enough for a marathon gaming session? And more importantly, am I paying for a gimmick or for real, everyday convenience? I'm going to break down the NewAir Beverage refrigerator with a glass door, walk through the bits that matter day to day, and let you decide if it's worth a place on your floor. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation I hear from people who have never owned a mini fridge is the fear of it becoming just another noisy appliance that steals power and space. The NewAir model claims a quiet operation, and when you put it in a typical bedroom or a shared office, you'll notice that the hum is indeed low-key more of a gentle fan buzz than a clanking compressor. It sits on a thin metal base that can be tucked under a desk or in a corner of a bedroom wardrobe without protruding too far. The footprint is roughly the size of a small filing cabinet, so you'll still have room for a lamp or a bookshelf on either side. Now, capacity is where this unit really tries to stand out. With a stated 177 can capacity, it promises to be the go-to spot for soda, beer, or even a few bottles of wine. In practice, the interior is organized with adjustable shelves that can be lowered or raised to accommodate taller cans or a couple of 12-ounce bottles. I tested it by loading a mix of 12-ounce soda cans, a case of craft beer, and a few wine bottles. The shelves held up nicely, and the door's glass panel lets you see the contents at a glance, which is handy when you're too lazy to open the door and count how many cans are left. The LED lighting inside is crisp but not blinding, so you can spot a cold brew even in a dim dorm hallway. Temperature control on this fridge is straightforward, a single dial that ranges from lukewarm to ice cold. I set it to the middle cold setting, and after a couple of hours the interior settled at about 38 F, which is perfect for most beverages. The real test came when I opened the door repeatedly during a 4-hour gaming marathon. Even after 10 openings, the temperature only slipped a few degrees, meaning that the fridge can keep up with frequent access without turning your drinks into a lukewarm mess. If you're a hardcore gamer who keeps energy drinks on hand, this reliability can make the difference between staying refreshed and feeling sluggish. One practical strength that often gets glossed over is the energy consumption. The unit uses a standard 115-volt compressor that's rated for modest power draw. I ran the fridge for a full day on a smart plug that logs usage, and it averaged about 1.2 kilowatt-hours. That's roughly the cost of running a small LED TV for the same period, so you're not looking at a massive increase on your electric bill. The silent design also means you won't be distracted by a whirring noise while you're focusing on a deadline or a boss fight. However, there are a few trade-offs that could steer certain buyers away. The glass door is undeniably sleek, but it adds a little extra weight compared to a solid panel door. In one scenario, I tried moving the fridge from the dorm to a different room, and it took 2 people to shift it safely. If you anticipate needing to relocate the unit often, that could be a hassle. Also, while the interior can hold a fair number of cans, the door's glass panel reduces the usable width compared with an all-metal door. This means you won't be able to squeeze a handful of oversized 16-ounce bottles all at once. You'll need to be mindful of the dimensions of the items you plan to store. Another point worth noting is the lack of a built-in temperature readout. The dial is intuitive, but for those who like precise control, say, keeping a case of craft beer at a specific chill, there's no digital readout to confirm exact degrees. You'll be relying on feel and occasional thermometer checks. For most casual users that's fine, but it's something to keep in mind if you're a homebrew enthusiast. Who should buy this fridge? If you're a college student with a dorm room that doubles as a social hub, the capacity and quick access design make it a perfect fit. It can keep a case of sodas on hand for movie nights without taking up valuable shelf space. If you work from home and enjoy a cold beverage at your desk, the low-profile footprint and quiet operation mean you won't interfere with calls or